Welcome everyone to Japan.
Okay, I'm
the home of where if you no longer go for a gap,
play.
you are no longer for a racing driver. We're gonna have a great stream for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We got Steven Sarver, we got Andrew Anderson, and Jen Rodgers coming live for you tonight. How are you guys?
Pretty good. Konnichiwa.
We got the.
It's raining yen. Hallelujah.
Hype.
It's raining yen.
Super hype.
Did you look that up just before you jumped on here, Andrew? What is what is hello in Japanese? Furiously typing as you're getting ready for the stream here.
Nah, it's raining Nekos and Inus around here.
Oh man, that's good. Are we still in the I don't think we actually started qualifying. I think this is still the free practice, right?
Yeah, we got all kind of time.
Sweet.
We can goof around for another minute and 12 seconds before anybody starts getting serious.
Driving. Okay, there we go. I didn't have any of the stuff up.
How's everyone doing?
We're good.
How's everyone doing in the stream tonight? Can we get some hellos in the chat here?
They want some hellos.
Can't even tell how many folks we got.
7,
Anyways,
8 currently.
Hey, a lot of cool people in the chat.
Do you guys want to move to the track map before we get qualifying started?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. Pull it up. Here we go.
First trivia question for the night. Who said if you no longer go for a gap, you're no longer a racing driver?
Should be Steve McQueen.
Is that who it was?
Anyways.
Oh.
That is not correct.
I don't know. Why is... Oh, my...
So,
okay.
We're at Suzuka tonight. And so, let's see. I guess everybody on the stream here is looking at the track map. I'll show you which one of these turns we're going to have accidents tonight. We're going to have an accident at turn 1, 2, 3. Well, all of them really. So now I tell you, Suzuka's a fantastic track. I think it's one of the few remaining real drivers tracks out there. What's interesting about this place, it's a figure 8, and if you think about it, Twin Ring Motegi is a figure 8, and the Ferrari test track is a figure 8. Our guys are getting ready to blast off here. So anyways, there's only really, y'all let me know in chat, are there any other figure 8s out there other than Twin Ring Motegi and Fiorano, which is Ferrari's test track? And what I think's interesting about Ferrari's test track is it's actually placed in Fiorano, just outside of Maranello, where actually Enzo Ferrari could see the track from his house. That's fascinating. But anyways, they made that track to look like a lot of other tracks that were on the calendar, just starting in 1972 or so. And it's a figure 8. But if you look at the Ferrari's test track and you overlay it with Suzuka, the S's, the bridge, a couple other spots on that track look a whole lot like Fiorano. So I think that this is a place that they were trying to figure out how to run when they built their own place.
Implement their... Oh, that's pretty nice.
Very interesting. So we're going to see passing in the hairpin, which is turn 11. We're going to see some passing in the spoon, but the most interesting place here is turn 15 and 16, which is the Casio Triangle. As the race goes on, we'll talk more about why that little piece of real estate right there, I think, shaped modern Formula One.
Really?
We'll have a lot of discussion on that. I bet the chat's going to go crazy because everybody knows what I'm about to talk about. But I really think that little corner shaped a lot of. It shaped the politics. It shaped the driving. It shaped teammates, the way teammates treated each other. It's everything you know about Formula One. I think went right back to that little triangle. So, anyways, that's Suzuka. We all know it well. It's a twisty turny track, and in the pouring rain, it's going to be interesting. And I think we need to make a checklist of all the turn numbers and just check them off when somebody goes off at one of those corners, because hey, we're gonna get corner number wreck bingo, and we're all gonna bingo tonight.
I think so. I think
there's lots of opportunities for that. Is see how many overtakes we get done down into T1, see how many wrecks we get in the Casio triangle. It's definitely a bingo card that we're going to come up with here on the
Yeah,
fly.
turn 11, the hairpin is definitely a good place to pass, I think, too. Even though it's crazy.
Well, Ricky. Well, I guess if you're a returning viewer, well, God bless your soul, that you're still with us. If you hadn't left yet, there's something wrong with y'all, us, or both of us. But if you're a new viewer, we have 2 rounds of qualifying. In this race, we have gold and silver drivers, and the silver drivers go out for the first 15 minutes. So they've got 12 minutes left. So they're really just getting heated up here. So we got really about 6 minutes or so before they really start laying down important laps as their fuel burns down and their tires heat up. So I figure we have a few minutes. And so for this week, something completely different. We're getting ready for season 5, so we're kind of making sure and getting everybody good reasons to race with us next season, and want to add new drivers and let's make sure kind of build the hype for next year. So I've got an old-fashioned David Letterman top 10 list of why you should drive an SRA in season 5.
Go for it.
Here we go, guys. So here we go. 10 reasons to race an SRA season 5. Number 10. Next season, OMG, it's Pav. We'll race as, well, oh, isn't that precious? It's Pav. Number 9. Stewarding will be done by Judge Judy. That's popular. Number 8. Land Shark will stop swindling sailors, will crash other division races. It's happened before. Number 7. Always a chance of seeing feet. Not sure why that goes down around here, but it seems to get a lot of traction around here. Number 6. Brandon Subshition will change his last name to Jones so we can all pronounce it. Thank you very much. Number 5. Reasons to race at SRA. Number 5. Tight competitive grids so you can hit the same guy every week. Number 4. Driver briefings will last 9 seconds. I think that's going to get some traction. Number 3, wet races will actually be wet. Number 2, hot lap leaderboard will be renamed the Nanana Boo Boo I'm Faster Than You board. Number 1 reason to race at SRA next season, Doug will sing the last line of Take On Me from AHA on air. I don't know about you guys, but it already sounds pitchy to me, dog. There it is, top 10 reasons to race at SRA next season.
Yeah. We're getting the picture-in-picture working. It's not quite there yet, but it's getting there.
I'm streaming now,
Yeah.
Sarver, so
Do you
hopefully it should work.
Do you have it
so.
popped out from Discord, or do you have it just? Oh no, wait, no.
I
You don't have to
popped
pop it out. I'm dumb. I need to pop it out from the Discord. That's what the problem is. That's why it's weird.
Makes sense.
Let me do that. I was wondering why it's coming out weird, and that is just the Discord. What in the heck?
I'm sure you guys always enjoy our technical difficulties that we always have here with the D3 stream, but we'll get it sorted out eventually.
Why is it?
We have top 10 facts to keep you distracted. I missed the top three there. I missed the top 3 there. I think we need a B-roll of those.
You need the top 3 again?
Yeah.
So number 3,
Make sure
wet
you hit drive
races will
again.
actually be
Yeah.
wet.
That should be good.
Let's see here. I'll let everybody get their technical
There we
difficulties
go.
all squared
We're
away.
good now.
You still
Go
need the
for it.
top 2?
I do need the top 2. Yeah, I mean we're just vamping here, Andrew. So let's do top 2 again.
Oh, number 2 is going to be the hot lap leaderboard is going to be renamed the Nanana Boo Boo I'm Faster Than You board. And number 1, of course, is going to be Doug will sing the last line of Take On Me from AHA on air. And that already sounds pitchy to me, dog.
Hey, what do you think Doug would look like in that video? I imagine that Doug would be an excellent, like kind of white and black, whatever that kind of animation character is.
Absolutely he would. Hey, they're on tour right now, and their lead singer doesn't really have that note left in him. It's all he can do.
Jan, I need you to do 2 things for me.
Yikes.
Can you go
Okay,
into the
talk to
menus
me.
and make sure you hit drive because it says session ended? And
Drive.
okay,
I did hit
it's
drive.
showing that it's not. It's weird. And then hit blank on the race control, and it'll get rid of the whatchamacallit, the scoreboard for me.
Yep.
So just while y'all go through there,
Is
we
it
are
watching mine? It's watching
qualifying,
mine.
and as soon as
I'm such a mental case.
we're gonna bring all the action here as soon as all the techie stuff gets knocked out.
Jeez.
In the meantime, Ron Flo
There we
is
go.
he's got a narrow
I
lead.
got you. It was watching mine. I'm so dumb.
Glad we got that sorted out. High quality
getting there.
content for all of you. That thank you for staying. We've actually ticked up 2 individual watchers, so I don't know what we're doing.
They love all the corny jokes and our technical problems. They're like, hey, we're not so bad ourselves. These guys are winging it.
Corny jokes here.
I love the jokes.
Great. So while we're watching all these slow silver drivers that really should be in D4,
Ron Flo.
giving Dahey a hard time here. Can we? Do we want to maybe go through the driver standing and
We
the
can.
team standing?
We can go through and we can start with the team standings while we take a break here. Apex Hunters are the Mercedes team of Ron Flo and Robbie Toddy with a 900.
Who has entered the chat, by the way? Robbie
He is in
Toddy's
here.
Entered the chat.
Are
rather
there
than-
supposed to be red plates?
Yeah.
yeah.
The 2 red plates, Robbie, were guys who entered before this week but don't have 3 full races. They were here last week, so they are on the roster list. But no, there should be no more than those 2 drivers for the rest of the season.
Yep.
So yeah, you're good.
Yeah. I think it means they don't have the
they don't
SRA
have
rating.
the SRA rating
yet,
because they've only
but-
raced 1 or 2 races. So maybe next week those guys will be silver placards. But yeah, that is a good question. And then
And Dahey's in the chat, so you
yeah,
can send your
send
complaints
Dahey the
too.
complaints.
Oh, yeah.
SRA rating about
he'll
him.
enjoy that. But
Yep.
your team,
Okay, Dahey actually.
no,
makes,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Dahey actually makes an appearance in our remarks in the qualifying too.
Oh
so,
yeah, always.
He's coming.
But
Great. Anyways, back to
so
the team
Robbie
standings.
Toddy and Ron Flo have a 201 point lead on the BMW teammates of Baseline Racing 2, which is Jaubrey GTG and Corey Sircone. It's not quite wrapped up that they have the championship because both racers on the Apex team have to show up and do well. But if they both show up, it's kind of a lock for first. I think.
Yep.
So Gutierrez has now been officially renamed Gutierrez.
I see that. And we'll move to the
Yep.
driver's standings to talk about Mr. Gutierrez, who is
Yeah.
pretty far ahead.
And Dahey, we were just saying that send your
It
complaints
only
about
goes away if
SRA
you
rating
have
your
3
way. So
non-DNF. Oh, 3 non. Yeah, so if they've raced a DNF, then yeah, that makes sense too. Yeah, Gutierrez has just enough points that he's. I want to say, let me look. I looked it up. He had 109 point lead over Robbie Toddy. So if Gutierrez has a bad race and gets 0 points and Robbie wins, it'll be tied going into next week. So Mr. Gutierrez has to have a decent finish here.
He needs
Yep,
a point.
he needs a couple of points because if Toddy wins and can get the fastest lap in qualifying and the race, he could surpass him with Gutierrez getting 0. But I don't expect Gutierrez to get that many.
yeah, and there's also some complex math here with who has the worst drop race
Yeah,
as well.
that is
so
true. You have to drop the
our-
lowest.
Our assumption here is that as long as Gutierrez finishes top 5, I believe that he should be good enough to win the team's to win
I
the
would agree
individual
with that,
championship
yeah.
there.
For those scoring at home, Rebel has now taken a 7/10 of a second lead over the whole field.
It looks like, despite it being looks pretty wet. Like, the times are dropping. So I'm assuming the rain has stopped and it's just the puddles that have formed, and now the gold drivers. Or no, this is still silver. This is still silver. They got 2 more minutes.
Yeah, I know. And Ribble has definitely got a stranglehold on the whole thing. And he's actually adding a little to it at the beginning stage of this next lap.
A couple of tenths already on this lap.
Yeah, and Flo's gaining time. I mean, he's up 3/10 currently. So let me go to Flo here in the picture-in-picture.
Good, yeah.
So these guys have got essentially a lap to go here. Now Rebel probably will get to go under the line and get one more if he thinks he needs it, but I don't. As far as the silver guys, I don't think he's going to need it.
No.
But we do have the gold guys coming.
True.
We're definitely seeing some improvements. Yeah, Formigal is up 4/10 in what is the greatest Lexus livery of all time, and Katavkar is also up 3/10. So definitely seen some improvements.
Got a nice run out of the hairpin in the Ferrari with the pole leader behind him and losing time.
Ron Flo's on a flyer.
Yep, half a.
Yep, I'm on him right now.
Second.
In the picture-in-picture.
That will put him second place.
I think it's from P2.
14.9 is what he's looking to grab right now.
Yeah, it's interesting. You always find the baseline and apex guys right next to each other. Well, Flo just went through and
14.9.
went up to P2. So he's only.
It's funny too that Flo and Jaubrey are both silvers and their teammates are both golds, and the 4 of them always find each other on the grid as a start.
Yep. Definitely makes for some great viewing for us every week here.
Thomas Holmes. Yep.
So last lap here, closing out for the silver guys, and then we're going to see the gold drivers head out. So we're about to release the hounds.
Yep. And Greer here is up significantly, 7/10, coming around.
Does not gain too much. He's just going to go off. It looks.
Oh, and he's big slide for Greer. Oh, and he hits the wall in the
corner
picture. He was. Yeah. And he was 7/10 up. That would have put him probably P13. So unfortunate from Greer there. That probably means he's going to be starting P30 from the back of our grid.
Yeah, because he's last place currently.
And Miller's coming around into Casio. He's also 8/10, 9/10, 1 second up. Wow, he is really killing it here. So he could make it all the way up to top 10 here. Coming out of that last corner.
7-Up boys from Ghost Rider Racing were having no fun Monday night in the practice race. I was following them for quite a bit of time. So to see them moving up in the qualifying standings, good for them.
Yeah, that was impressive for Miller. Went up a whole second, at the death there. Got up to P9. And I'm particularly impressed with Miller switching from I can't remember what he was in last time, but switching from the McLaren to the Lamborghini.
And Whitting just drove off right there.
So we've got the gold guys are on track. So we have Ron Flo. I don't think he's going to.
Oh, I think we lost Andrew for a second there. Yeah, Ron. It looks like Flo is. Oh, he's off in the pits, and then Whitting did not gain on his time as well. Guys? Oh, my game crashed? Or did the lobby crash? Am I back? Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
you're
think.
back.
We're not
Yeah,
streaming
I
anything
think
yet.
my ACC crashed because I.
Well, we can see your. Yeah, well, we can see
Okay.
your screen. So can you hit
Let
drive?
me reset the server because it definitely showed cars just sitting there. And let's switch to this screen for a second. So reconnect, make sure everything's there. Oh boy, that was crazy.
We are still streaming. So the
We are streaming.
the gents out there are hearing our technical difficulties and not probably just
Yeah.
laughing at us. So
Okay, well, I'll tell you, if we're streaming, let's see here. Are we positive we're streaming?
we are. I am.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what, we got a few minutes here. When you get as many viewers as we get, which is immense, it's massive. Some would say it's huge.
There we go.
It's inevitable that we receive.
Keep going, you're good.
Am I up and going here? It's inevitable that we get tons of fan mail, as well as we get a lot of complaints in the mail. So I figure we got a duffel bag full. And so I figure this is the first time that we're actually going to answer your letters and address some of your complaints. I got a few of these. We'll do as many as time permits here. So, anyways, if y'all ready for mailbag here, the first one out of the bag is it looks like nobody who's written to us has actually used their real names. So it's all very anonymous here. So the first person that's written to us. He's referring to himself as "What the hell" from Baton Rouge.
Oh,
Sounds like we're not off to a good start here. So he says, does Dahey actually get paid for all the work he does for the league? Well, I could answer that question. This is a good time to answer this. SRA has now secured sponsorship from Viberzi, it's a company, so he can better get appreciated and compensated for all the work he does here at SRA that he doesn't get nearly appreciated enough for. So thank you to the kind people at Viberzi. Remember, when you got to go but would rather not, take Viberzi. So next letter out of the bag is from Lonely in Manitoba. Okay. Yay. Last week, he writes, last week I asked my girlfriend to watch the stream, and I made the pass of my life in the rain at Kyalami, and the broadcast team completely missed it. Girlfriend was not impressed, because she never saw me on screen, but she did say Kyle McGinnis sounds really sexy and asked for his number. Yeah. Well, I can answer that. We saw the pass. It was for 41st, and your paint job's kind of boring. Best wishes to your girlfriend and Kyle for happy future. Kind of nice when things kind of come together here. So that's nice. So wow, things are working out well. So next letter, we got a couple of seconds here.
I'm sorry. I'm going to interrupt you really quickly here, Andrew, because we've got some racing. Yeah, because we've got some racing. So I just wanted to make clear, Gutierrez down in picture-in-picture is 1.3 seconds up on his lap time, which is potentially going to put him on pole. So I just don't want us to miss him on pole between all these fantastic letters that we're getting.
Give us another one.
So I guess next letter up here is from Bummed Beamer Driver in Santa Fe. We're getting all the complaints tonight. Bummed Beamer Driver says, he writes, why do you team? Well, I can answer that. This is something we've needed to kind of flush out here that y'all probably don't know that we do. We have a little known policy here. And so, like me, and Jan, and Steven, we spend the whole week leading up to a race looking for BMWs on our actual real BMW drivers on our local roads to see if they use turn signals. And then we actually give 1 minute of airtime for every turn signal that we've seen a BMW driver use the previous week. Unfortunately, we haven't seen one since February, but we are on the lookout. So BMW drivers, you may get on screen soon. Hey, we're really getting some news out tonight. So a couple more here before we run out of time here. So we've got next one is from Schweddy in Sarasota. Sounds warm. Schweddy in Sarasota says, he writes to us, every time I race, my testicles get so sweaty, my seat gets wet when I get up, despite having a large fan pointed at my midsection. What do you guys do to keep your jewels dry? I can't help you there. I'm married. I don't have testicles. So we got room
Oh,
for one
man.
more here. Oh, boy, this is horrible. We're going to work this down again.
Yeah. We're gonna get back here, Andrew, from commentating ever again.
We're done. So last one is from.
Can we get some F's in the chat for Andrew's nether regions there?
Here you go. We have to have a nether region cam now.
Let's do that.
Time for one more before we gotta get serious about qualifying. From Hands Are Hurting in Hamilton. Yeah, Canadian driver here. He's not. I guess he's not currently racing with us, but he says, "I would like to race with SRA in season 5, but racing has given me a terrible case of carpal tunnel syndrome. Is there anything I can do for that?" Well, I'm gonna just stop you right there, Mr. Hurting in Hamilton. You really need to take that seriously. Carpal tunnel. You need to get some self-care for that, because carpal tunnel is a proven killer. You should get that looked at. It's true, because that's what killed Princess Diana. She had carpal tunnel syndrome. That's it for mailbag. We're out.
I think, Andrew, we need to usher you off the stage left here.
Get the cane.
That last
Get the cane.
one was
Too soon.
yeah.
Too soon. And,
Going back to racing here. Gutierrez is 1.4 seconds up. Coming through Casio, so not gonna have quite enough here, I think, for P1. Oh, now he's up 1.5, so he may be close. This is gonna be very close. I'm guessing P2.
Yeah, and you got Robbie Toddy right behind him coming
Let's
out.
see.
4/10 up here.
Yep. Yep, P2, right to the line. Less than a tenth down. So hopefully he can find some more speed here. But Rakowski is doing a good job here. So.
Oh, I love it. We have
Hey,
Kestrel Prodigal says, surprised that indicators aren't sold as options on BMWs. Yeah, like seat warmers and like seats themselves, and
I love it.
like steering wheels. And I guess, don't you have to buy a subscription now? Get a monthly subscription to have a steering wheel in BMW?
Yeah, I think there are some car companies now that are trying to actually sell subscription to heat warmers and things like that. So even though they're on your car.
I wonder if you get iRacing a subscription with every seat warmer you buy from BMW.
Yeah, I think they have been talking. Some of these car companies have been talking about iRacing with their revenue model there. So yeah.
Wow,
And speaking of BMW drivers, Sircone here in the picture-in-picture is really getting in on his time. He's gaining about a tenth through every corner that he's going through. Almost 6/10 up on his lap time. So he should be top 5 here if he can keep this up.
I was watching Hanky because he was up on his lap, and just like watching Spaghetti a second ago, the second I switch to him, he starts losing time. So we're getting that caster curse in. It's headed through the hairpin.
So Rakowski's got 1/10 of a second on the world.
And he just went into the pits there.
They got about 2 laps to go.
Yeah. Sircone keeps finding time. He's up, almost 8/10 now. So it's going to be interesting. If he can find another couple tenths through these last corners, he could be, top 3 here and qualify. And he goes up 9/10.
Yeah, he's got a lot out of that.
Let's see where he comes out.
He's holding on to it.
Yep. Lost another last time coming out of Casio there, so don't think he's going to do it. But yeah, P6, still a good showing.
The Mercedes boys.
And Toddy's up. Toddy's up significantly as well. So I think Toddy will go P3 here.
214, 515, so he's up 300s on Rakowski. Does Rakowski come back out? Yeah, he's out. Yep. Rakowski's going to get 1, maybe 2 more laps here. Kurt.
And Gutierrez, as expected, is putting it on pole here. It took a little bit to warm up, but he's doing it.
He seems to do that every week. Like, he'll run a lap and he might put it on pole pretty early, but it takes him 4 or 5 laps in the Honda to really get the tires where he wants them. And Curtis Lee is off. Is he gonna try to run another? He's gonna try to run another lap.
What I'm not sure about is how he's able to actually, drive around this track with that Miami livery on.
Will he be able to keep up during lap 1? That is a good question.
I don't think he
Oh,
was
will
going
we
catch
be able to keep
Gutierrez.
up during lap 1? Lap 1 might be pretty interesting. We might not be able to keep up with all the action going on there.
Yeah, and DJ Watts, as Doug would say, is up 4/10 on his lap.
Nice. I'm gonna go down to Spaghetti.
So do we want to find someone here that's about to cross, and Andrew can tell us how it's done by a
I
D1
can.
driver?
Yeah, let's see what we got.
Give me a second.
I see Sir Cohn's coming up to the line here, I think, and same with Gutierrez.
Rakowski's
not
also.
He's faster than I am,
Rakowski's
though.
about to come through Casio. He's probably the closest, so we'll switch to him as he comes through 130R. And I finally got the Cartoon Network paint job on his car to work last week. I don't know what I did, but he was the only car that was a black painted car for me, so glad we got him going. All right, headed on the front straightaway.
Yeah, minute and a half to go. Let's see here. I'm looking at
The main screen.
the
Yes,
226
sir.
here. Look at. Alrighty, let's see. So main straightaway, you're going to want to brake. You know, there's one of those braking lines across the. There it is, right there. You're going to brake there, fourth, third, and in the rain. Let's go ahead and get down to second. Yeah, hug that corner right there. Float it out wide. I hope I'm in sync with the stream here. Now stay in third gear for all the S's. That last S, there's a couple of times last night I dropped down to second, but that's also the part of the S's that's easiest to spin. So you may not want to bring the power band up that high. So there it is right there. I'm sorry, there's one more S. Here we go. This is where I brought it down to second a couple of times. And then you head up to the Degners. Now, usually you just go from fifth to third here. There we go. And so down to second gear in the second Degner turn. Now, when I get to the curb here, go to the into the. There it is. You want to hug that as tight as you can going into that hairpin. It's hard to do, and sometimes floating it out there is, especially in the rain. You've got so much traction control in place. You need to get the traction control and get rid of it for that corner only. And I knocked it down a couple of times last night for that corner. Here you're going to go from fifth for that little road entry there. You're going to knock it down to fourth, to third, and in the rain only, bring that down to second. Hug it tight. Wait, and gently press the throttle down. Now here in the rain, we got down to the 130R, which is the next corner coming up. I backed off and dropped it to fifth without really braking right there. And then there's a puddle I used coming up. That puddle right there. Down, first gear. He cut it about right. And right here is an easy spot to lose it because it's all weird on camera. And he has driven through it just perfectly.
The pole right at the end.
Rakowski looked fantastic and took
Gutierrez
pole.
was on a
Nice.
lap at the end there, but he doesn't look like he's gonna increase his time.
We got to call the pole lap.
Yeah, interesting. What's interesting is he really did it in Sector 1 is really kind of where he gained all his time at. Is pretty close. Actually lost a lot of it in Sector 2. Gutierrez has purple in Sector 2, and Toddy has purple in Sector 3. So interesting. A lot of the drivers finding time in different areas and in different ways around this circuit.
That is interesting that 3 different people have sector purples. It just shows how close they are, even though they all have different times.
Let's get some predictions here in the chat. Who does everybody out there think is going to win this one? We got Rakowski, Gutierrez, and Bala surprisingly on third place. So any predictions here?
I've got Gutierrez rolling backwards across the line to win.
Nice.
Interesting.
It's going to be crazy out there. I say he who rolls around and doesn't hit anybody is going to like what he finds at the end.
I'm gonna go Rakowski here. I think our pole sitter is going to take it lights to flag victory here.
I like that call.
I think we need to start playing the national anthem for the winning driver, at the end of these races.
Yeah, I mean, we'd have two, right? I mean, we'd have Canada and Canada, and we'd have Stars and Stripes, right? So
we got a lot of South
we do have a
American
couple
drivers
South
here
American
as well.
drivers.
So,
mostly, I think in like D4, from what I can tell.
Yeah, well,
but
national anthems are my favorite genre of music. Country music.
Can we go back to the? Can we go back to the mailbag there, Andrew? After that one? I think you got to redeem yourself with the mailbag for that dad joke.
That's where that came from. You kidding?
Just in case you missed it, while we're waiting for them to start up, we'll look at the. We'll throw the points up for a second here. Got about.
Do we have to use the word penultimate tonight?
The penultimate corner.
You lose your license if you don't use the word penultimate on the next to last race.
Oh my god.
Yeah, well, this is the penultimate race. Yeah, so I think you got it in there.
Oh my. We're killing it. We're killing it tonight.
Hey. So.
That's funny. And they are hitting 20 seconds. Everybody's hitting drive now. Let's hope that everybody presses that drive button and nobody waits. Because you don't want to start from the pits.
We all got fuel in the car.
We can do a fly through real quick here as well.
There you go. Getting some views.
There you go.
That's right.
I'm highlighting these BMW drivers here for you, Andrew.
Oh man, 3 of them right there.
There's a couple of them.
4 of them in the top 10 tonight.
Yeah. Right next to Mercedes drivers. I'm not sure if those are better or not.
The interesting thing about the top 10 tonight, we have 2 Ferraris, 1 Honda, and the rest are front-wheel drives as the AMG, the BMW. The AMG, Mercedes, the BMWs, and the Lexus round out the top 10. So maybe the rain is better for the front engine cars. They have a little more balance.
Well, I think the lump in the front certainly helps with a little bit of that front end grip.
Which I can't remember how the front shook up last night. I think we had a lot of Ferraris. We had the 2 Audis. We had 1 McLaren. There might have been a Mercedes.
Those guys would beat me in Fred Flintstone's car. It doesn't matter what they're driving.
Front wheel drive. No, not front wheel drive. Front engine. My bad, JB. You got me. I always say front wheel drive when I mean front engine.
We got you covered.
There's quite a big difference in those two things.
There's no like front wheel drive Hyundai Velosters in this series.
I think you've been driving too much.
I've been doing too much of the front wheel. We just did a front wheel drive series, so that's probably why it's on my head.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
Front wheel drive cars are interesting. I'd rather be in these GT3 cars with a lot of power and slide out a little bit. That's a drink for me. Oh, what did I do? What do I got to drink for? Uh-oh. Chat's getting on to me.
That's the bingo card I think that you're hitting is Forza driver and front wheel drive.
Touring car racer. Oh, my bad. Well, just so you know, at the end of the year, I'm retiring from touring cars, so you don't got to worry about that anymore.
I'm gonna. So if you want to stick in the front, Sarver, I will go towards the back here, and we will see what kind of lunges we're gonna get. I'll assume that the chat here wants to see Miller in the back, but if you guys have any other requests, let me know, and we'll see how the carnage looks like from the rear.
I realized.
There's a drink for Steven.
Is this not the lobby that our resident Lamborghini driver Aiden Grover normally rests in?
It is, yeah,
so
it is definitely.
He's not. Darren Robichaud says, "Am I the only Bentley in this league? This season, I do believe you are the only Bentley. It for whatever reason, with the latest BOP, it does not seem to be a fan favorite. Toddy and Flo drove it last season and moved to Mercedes, so I don't know what the case there.
Well,
Yeah.
bless you for driving a Bentley.
Yep.
I don't
change.
mind the car other than the right-hand drive. That's the biggest piece of the car that I really hate.
Yeah, I just don't love the look of that car. You know, I think it's.
We're too wide. We're like Noah's Ark here, 2x2, and it's like Noah's Ark a lot of different ways here, guys. These are the guys that didn't make it on the boat.
Yep,
Cassie,
we're coming up to the
triangle?
line here. Yep, coming up to the line here.
Here come the giraffes. Here come the elephants. Here come the aardvarks.
I think we used that reference last night in our group chat, Jan, didn't we? Talking about the arc because it was so wet, the puddles.
Triangle.
Yep, we did. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
All right.
San, ni, ichi, go. I was early.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game likes to make sure the last couple of rows gets out of the corner really well before they let him go.
All right, try again there, Andrew. Get ready.
Yeah, San, ni, ichi.
There you go. Second time's a try. Gutierrez has got a nice run on the outside here. Kuski. Oh, the BMWs.
Miller keeping it clean.
Oh,
Three wide in front of them. 3 wide in front. We're going 3
I
wide.
can't get them fast enough. Sircone and
Oh,
Botella.
the BMW.
Yeah. What happened? Oh, Rebel just kind of drove down
Yeah,
a little bit, not expecting there to be a car. Sircone and Rebel both took a little bit of damage. It looks like that's not a good start.
But they were wishing they had those turn signals
Yep, those
right
turn
about now.
signals sure would have worked for him.
Ugh.
Oh, more cars in front of him going off. There goes Hitesh in the Ferrari. And Sircone is off again. He's having a little bit of recovery.
So son of a gun, the Honda at the Honda test track has taken off and is in the lead through the second Degner.
Yeah, let's look at the. Need to get the gap deltas.
I got the replay. Going here. Yeah, Watts and Michael had a small touch there. Don't see exactly the incident and what happened, so looks like Whitting is going backwards as well. See what happened with him. Must just have had a bad exit.
That's more like 4 drinks. Oh man.
Hey, we're missing the Braves game for this, guys. We love y'all.
Oh yeah, the Braves are playing.
And no spoilers, I'm DVRing it.
For sure, I wouldn't try.
So, top of the class is lining up very nicely.
Yeah, we missed the pass. I didn't get back in time.
Oh, he just drove around the outside, just took him
Just
out.
drove around the outside.
Beautiful.
Yep. And Gutierrez is. My prediction was not good here. Gutierrez is past Rakoski and has already got a 7/10 gap, so I suspect that he's going to drive away with this if he can keep it clean.
Man, he's almost as fast as Bruce Lee. But not as fast as his brother, suddenly.
DJ Watts on the bottom here going around Michael on turn 1. Decides to very lately back out of that. A lot of cars are just forming single file here. Uh-oh, did you see something? Whoa! Is that Rakuski?
Yeah, Rakoski got a yellow.
Just
went through
grass.
the gravel there.
No, he didn't lose the position.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's still on the grass. Let's go back. I'll replay in picture here. Let's see what happened to Rakoski. I think he just got a little bit wide coming out of the exit here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just
got wide. Just went straight through.
Look at that.
Came back onto the track sideways,
Oh,
and then and then he hit the BMW.
He has
hits
position.
GT.
It's catching up now. He's 6th place.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. And I think he hit Botla as he came out.
Unfortunate.
So unfortunate for Rakoski. But Ron Flo is all over his teammate now in terms of Robbie Toddy. So
there we go. Let's see, is there another really close one?
Meanwhile, back at the motel, I got a camera that y'all aren't seeing that it's on Gutierrez, and he is unaware anybody else is on track.
He's already 2.4 seconds ahead of Toddy and Flo, teammates in P2 and P3. So if they can stick in this position, they'll definitely clinch the team championship. So impressive showing from the Apex Hunters boys.
He's pulling a Senna here.
Yeah, Bickup is in a fight with Browning here, going into 130R in the picture-in-picture.
Yeah, Bickham is on a
Browning stays ahead.
They got the teammates of Browning and Whiting Jr. in the 7-Up cars with their teammate who's in the Lambo right in front of them. There's a lot of 7-Up cars right there in a row.
For sure, this Ferrari driver in Bickham really wants to get past these 7-Up cars. You can see the mess of them coming down the front straight there.
Oh yeah.
Then he's pulling out, going towards the left. Thinks better of it, tucks back in.
Might have been safe. It looks like everyone's starting to try to single file here. I don't see really anyone that's too much close.
Yeah, Rodriguez is within 2/10 of Space Baker.
My buddy Space Baker.
As they're coming through the S's here.
We've got Jawbreak.
Oh, Space Baker. Oh, I think that's just.
Oh no!
glitching?
Yeah, he's like, whoa.
Well,
Yeah,
he glitched
like his,
out. It looks like, yeah, glitched out.
Oh,
A
Jawbreak
number
and
of people.
Curtis Lee on the main screen hit here. Let me
Yep.
see what happens to Curtis as I go through the dirt, through the dangers. Side by side. Curtis just kind of breaks and drifts into him a little bit and just goes off. He's going to lose 4 positions on that exchange, but he keeps it. Oh, and there goes Miller, so he gets one of those back. He's right in front of the train.
Owens going down the inside of Rebel here into the hairpin, and it looks like he's going to get him if he can show him the grass here on the outside. And he's able to make that cleanly.
Saccone and Rebel making their way back up through the field after those mistakes on lap 1.
Yeah, Sircone's looking like he's carrying a little bit more damage than Rebel, so it'll be interesting to see. He's probably going to have to get that fixed during the pit stops.
What kind of laps are they putting down?
If he doesn't fix that, he's going to go through the 130R. He's going 130R, but he's going to make it more like about a 110R.
Yeah, it's
He's going to find himself.
it's
right
going to be
on track.
dangerous if you don't get that mess fixed for sure. Lap times they are currently putting down. Gutierrez has got a 2:14.1 as he crosses the line. Oh, Toddy 2:13.3. So it might look like it's raining pretty heavily on the screen, but the times are pretty good for the wet. I think the D4 race got down to the 12.
There ain't nothing
so
wrong with their times.
if it stays like this, they might be getting into that zone. But the weather on the top right shows heavier rain coming, so I think the times are going to go down instead of up.
And there's quite a difference front to back. I think the fastest guys are running in the low 2:14s, and the guys all the way in the back are running in the low 2:17s. So we're seeing an almost 3-second spread in race lap times from front to the back.
I think it's just because right now the front looks like 5 or 6 all have a decent gap to the next car, so they don't have to back out too much.
Yeah, there's really nobody in the top 10 that's within a second of the car in front of them. It seems like all the action is in the back here. I'm going to go on board with Bickham. He's pressuring Browning, still trying to make this pass on that 7-Up car. Oh, and the 7-Up car goes wide. Let's see if Bickham can...
That's Miller in the
take
Lambo,
advantage of that.
too.
Yep. Miller right in front of him lost the position to Whiting Jr., as you saw in the beginning, top of your screen. So teammates passing teammates there.
Ooh, McLaren.
I wonder if Miller's
Violence.
letting these guys go on purpose. Looks like he made that pretty easy outside of the hairpin there, and probably just let Miller go by. So I think we're seeing some
Yeah,
calls there.
they're probably in traffic
I'd be
together.
careful.
And he's like, "Hey, I'm a little bit faster. Can I get by real quick?" And, Miller might get back the position later.
Yeah, his Browning went super wide there on Spoon.
no.
They're gonna get caught up with each other. Oh man, I thought that.
I was about to say, there goes the
Thought
team
Pickens was gonna
orders right
take
out the
advantage
window,
of
huh?
that. Yeah.
I'm actually gonna jump on Koski because he's slowly catching Botla or Batella because we found out that his name is misspelled because we typed it in wrong.
You know, Sircone is back in 21st. He's in that BMW. I don't think he's going to be back there very long. He's got 15 minutes till he can come in and pit. And he's already making his way around Thomas Greer.
Yeah, he's getting past Greer there.
And actually, in the Rebels right behind him, that's the two guys that ran into each other to begin with. Film at 11. I think they may talk again before this thing's over with.
Yeah, I suspect. I mean, Rebel is right on his rear and is following him through. But and Greer spears back through, going through T1 and then goes wide. That was a dicey move for Greer there. But I think Rebel saw that coming and wisely backed out and let
crazy.
Greer
These guys are
go wide.
The needle.
Going really hard through this rain.
That turn one is treacherous as well. I mean, in the D4 race last night, you were having to back up and brake all the way before the 100 board. And if I braked anywhere later than that, I was just, aquaplaning off. So, not sure what conditions are here, but there's definitely a lot of standing water, I think, around the track.
Once that puddle forms in turn one, you can't hold your brakes too heavy over it, or you just slide off into the gravel. So you kind of got to lift partially way through there.
Going on another BMW driver here, Bola, who actually has purple lap right now to 213.1. He is within 0.3 of Henke. So, your caller or your writer actually, Andrew, should be pretty happy. The BMWs are getting a lot of coverage tonight.
Yeah, a lot of turn signals this week.
I think they paid for their subscription. Is Bala? I wonder if Bala thought about it, peeked out outside a 130R, but wisely.
Rakoski just took a dead left.
No.
Right into the tires.
Okay.
Yeah, let's back up here and see what happened in the picture-in-picture.
That was a peekaboo impact.
Yeah.
Because after that, his car's going to be in the ICU.
So he's coming up to 130R here.
Oh, that's not what he did.
Oh, no, I think he dipped a wheel into the grass on the outside there. Coming into 130R.
Oh, that's massive.
Just lost it and speared into the tire barriers. Yeah. I wonder, he's got to be carrying a lot of damage here. That's unfortunate. Your pulse are all the way back in P8 now.
So out of the front runners, Gutierrez, Toady, and Flo are the only ones in the top 7 or 8 that haven't had an issue yet.
Yeah, there's a train forming here from P14 to back to P18.
Yeah, that's the one I was following.
Yep.
They're all within a second of each other, 5 or 6 cars there. Ooh, Hankey's on Bolton now, on Bertella. Camera's angle was bad. Get him out of Dengar 2 here. Into the hairpin. Side by side. Now he backs out.
Play nice, boys. There you go. Play nice.
He knows that corner's a little dangerous, and it would end up with both of them in the wall.
Yeah, Spaghetti and Brown look like they're losing touch a little bit here with the back of this train. Got to try to get back into it.
Yeah, when I looked back a second ago, Brown and Spaghetti were closing, but it seems like maybe the spray, they can't see the braking zones as well, and they're just playing it safe, trying to get through the pit stops before making any craziness. Oh, through Spoon, Hankey gets Botella for, is that 4th place? Botella not change his name on the website. I don't think it's that he can't. I think he didn't think about it and couldn't remember how to change it. He has been told on the Discord how to change it, so hopefully next week we'll get him fixed it.
He might be the witness protection program, and he's trying to hide his name. And now we've exposed the whole thing, and now he's got to move to Spokane.
Feel it.
You think he's one of our letter writers there, Andrew?
He might be. He might be sweaty in Sarasota.
Love it. So what do you think these guys are going to do with the 10 minutes before the pits with the damage that they've collected so far?
I think you got to come in and get it taken care of. In this race, if you're okay, let's start. If you're Sir Cone, and if you're Rebel, you're fast as heck, and there's only 25 cars here, and they're able to pass their way up. I think they're going to come in 10 minutes and 48 seconds, do what they got to do, and I think they're going to race like mad the second half. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Andrew. I think that's definitely the right strategy. You know, pit as soon as the pit window opens, get that damage repaired, and just put in some monster outlaps. Hopefully you'll get some clean air, and you can try to gap those guys as they're coming in on the
watching
pits.
Sircone, you can see that the front of his car has a big gap in the hood, so he's definitely got some front end damage. I think.
So Botella is making, or for whatever drug cartel is after him, but he had a move on Hinky and he backed off. So these two might have more to talk about.
Space Baker off.
Yep.
Corey's under him in Dengar 2. And Sircone and Rebel are just nose to tail. They're just hanging out. They're best friends tonight.
I think they've got Space Baker now in between them, so this is the time for Sircone to try to pull a gap.
Rebel did not get by on the hairpin. Interesting.
Yeah. We'll see if Space Baker can be a blocker here, give Sircone a little bit of breathing room.
They're the three best friends that anyone could have. Best friends.
Not too far behind him is Jan's favorite Lexus paint as he goes off. Of course, I sorry, Formigal. I put it on you. You drove off the track. Add it to my list of caster curses for the night. He was driving well. He was catching the Audi.
Yeah, and Gatafkar. Yeah, Gatafkar is had a slight off by himself.
That was Spaghetti off down the straightaway here. Coming up to 130R.
You know, G-Tesh is not in horrible shape here. Keep it on track, and he's good. Get by some folks.
Yeah, down in the picture-in-picture, Rubberl is still behind Space Baker, and Sircone has gapped him by 4.6 seconds.
Really?
So,
wow.
Or 1.3 seconds, rather. My apologies. 1.3 seconds. So, you know, he's definitely pulling him away. So, if Rebel's got to find a... Oh, and Space Baker slides sideways, and Rebel goes past him.
That's good for Rebel, and bad for Sircone, but Sircone did get a little bit of a gap there. Maybe he'll be able to keep it now.
Yeah.
So we got Chi, Watts, and Rokuski for 6, 7, and 8 here.
Somebody's going to owe Honda some grass seed when this thing's over with.
Yeah, there's not much to say about the front there. Gutierrez has 2 seconds on Toddy, who has 2.5 seconds on his teammate, and then 5 seconds back to Hinky in 4th. They're kind of just chilling.
Yeah, you've got the hot battles here.
Oh, and
Browning is facing the wrong way.
Yeah, Browning was in that train of 5 cars, and he was backwards in the chicane. I'll just go back to a hero really quickly. As Spaghetti comes up to him, you can see that he spins right in front of Spaghetti here and is backwards.
Good job by the other drivers to avoid that.
Yeah. Have we had wrecks in every quarter so far?
We're getting there. We've had 1, 2, I think all the S's, this hairpin, maybe not the Casio triangle yet. That might be the only section yet.
Nothing in Casio.
130R, the Dangers. Yeah, I think it's literally just the Casio triangle that I haven't seen a wreck in yet. Don't worry, guys. You'll get your bingo card knocked off here in a second.
Bingo!
Yeah, we should just set up a camera here at the Casio Triangle and see what happens.
Just waiting to get my bingo wings.
Yeah, get on the phone
before
with
Before Doug had to go host the D2 lobby, that was going to be our plan for the Kilami race. I was gonna set up in the cheetah corner and just sit and watch the cheetah corner and see how many people went off there. Had the cheetah cam. But yeah.
You still got a feeder
Yeah,
cam.
I got the feeder cam. Yeah, I get the Doug feeder cam.
Rakowski's putting some pressure on DJ Watts here, so we'll see if he passes him. I'm not as good at
No,
that as
not
Doug.
at all.
No.
It's
Maybe
hard to be
Doug,
as good as Doug
yeah.
on that. Tobias, why are you out here? Go to bed.
Well, Rakowski's got a lot of front end damage. He's another guy. He's got 5 minutes and 51 seconds left before he's going to be diving in. Oh boy, they're going to have a hard time making the paint stick when they repaint the front of that car in the wet here. He's got a lot of front end damage.
So Andrew, have you already gone through your Jean-Marie Blast effects here, or is that something that we're holding on to?
I was gonna wait till things weren't so exciting, but we got 5 minutes before
Bola spins
pit
in the
stop.
spoon.
So we talked earlier about there's gosh, there's so much stuff
you keep going.
happening.
I got it on. We saw what happened.
Jeez, Botella is like a flotilla of BMWs. And anyways, so Alain Prost, Ayrton Senna, you know where we're going. So they're teammates in 1989, and they hate each other. And nobody wanted the Brazilian to take over the top spot at McLaren. You know, they won 15 out of the 16 races that year, I believe. So we're watching some cars turning sideways. Rakowski is around again. He's got a lot of damage. He's just
there you go. There's your
dying to
Casio
get in the
triangle.
pits. And so, as we all know, at the Casio Triangle, next to last race of the season, Senna's coming through to pass Alain Prost, and all Alain Prost had to do was make sure that Senna didn't win that race, and he would be world champion. So he just turned dead right into him and wrecked him. And he jumped out of his car saying, "Oh no, we have wrecked. Oh, that's terrible." And anyways, their wheels get unlocked, and the marshals push Senna and push Senna's car out of the way. And as soon as it does, he bump starts it, and he's off. And I think he goes through the chicanes just right. They have those little chicanes set up to run off track, what you have to do to get back on track. He takes off, and Alain Prost, he says, "Oh no, that's not how that's supposed to go." And so he went straight to the FIA and protested that Senna didn't follow the exact protocol to get back on track. And Senna actually came back in the pits, got a new wing, came back and won the race. And the moment he got out of the car was notified that he was disqualified from the entire event. Yeah.
Ooh.
Press X to doubt.
As Bickham goes on the inside and takes out Miller there, that was interesting. That was a little bit spicy. Let me see if I can get the replay going here
I
on
was
that.
watching Rodriguez behind him because he was closing in on that group you were watching at the front part.
Yeah, so coming into Degner 1, and apologize for interrupting here, but we want to hear the end of that story.
No, you're
coming into Degner 1. Let's see, he goes down the inside. It's not a very good passing spot. Miller kind of turns in and can't get it stopped, so they both get taken out there.
Yeah. But you haven't seen it now on the PNP. Wow. So the guy who ran the FIA is a little different than having all the stewards now. I think this is kind of what shaped a lot of the way F1 races are stewarded now, which means that's the way everything else is stewarded in the world. The fellow that ran the FIA is the one that immediately gave the disqualification to Senna for that race, which means that immediately Alain Prost becomes world champion at that point. But that was Jean-Marie Balest, who's French. So is Alain Prost, just for those scoring at home. I think that he was in control of making sure that the F1 was really in the arms of Europeans and not a young upstart from Brazil. And you got to go watch a video of Jean-Marie Balest. I mean, not a nice guy, and he's also a Nazi. How in the world did a Nazi end up running the FIA? I would love to know how they let that happen. Anyways, he's a Nazi. And so, of course, the next season, Ayrton Senna blows out Alain Prost. does it again in 91, and in 92, Alain Prost just doesn't race. And so that 92 is of course the year that the Williams took over with all their electronics. Alain Prost came back and won the championship again in 93, as everybody was shuffling cars. But of course in 1990, Alain Prost actually raced for Ferrari because he kind of got ran out of town with McLaren, and of course at the Japan race there, turn 1, he wrecked Ayrton Senna again.
Yeah, and
So,
speaking of Rex here, on board with
Here you go.
yeah, on board with Rebel, just backed it up here in the picture-in-picture. Looks like he was coming up on Holmes. They had
Holmes
been
just lost
chasing for a while. Oh, Holmes just spins it and crashes into
I think they took
to
out
Rebel there. So
somebody
unfortunate.
else in that.
Yeah, it might have been. Oh, looks like a
Had
McLaren
to
behind
been,
them.
Browning
I think
then,
that's
yeah,
Browning.
he was the closest one to him.
Yeah, I think he just spun out on his own. So Rakowski's now back up to P12. You know, it's got 14 seconds till that pit window opens. So maybe he'll be able to actually pit this lap as he's coming out of the front straight.
Ooh, riding with Waiting
some more.
Junior, and he just doesn't make the Casio triangle, has to slow down and let those guys by.
There it is. That's
Oh.
the place that Ayrton Senna went through the chicane there. It's just,
And-
I was early.
And Rakowski dives into the pits there. Oh, Batla on the front straight. I'm going to go back 15
man,
seconds here in the
they're
picture-in-picture.
Going
good enough.
off all over the place. You know who we haven't given any love to? The Mercedes boys. We'll have it flow for a minute here.
And Batla's still trying to get going here on the front straight. Finally gets it turned around and gets going. Unfortunate. He went from P4 or P5 all the way down to P15. So
Formagal in. So yep, Rakowski, Sircone, those guys had damage. They ducked in. They did just what we thought
Yep,
they'd
get
do.
that damage quick.
Fast as they get there. Fast as they get in there.
yeah, we're seeing a lot of folks in the pits. 19 through 25. You know, so basically
All those guys that have taken a little bit of
a
damage.
third of the field or a quarter of the field right now is
I
in
hate
the
that they're
pits.
all like parked. Oh man, all their pit stalls are right next to each other, so it's hard to like get into your pit because you can't see it through all those other cars that are ghosted. Crazy.
Well, they all have to look at their monitors now. They can all look and see who's staying in the pits.
Yeah,
faster
exactly.
and
They're all
slower.
next to each other on the pits and in the positions.
who wins.
There goes Formagal.
Yeah, Formagal. Yeah, Formagal goes off.
Is that Holmes?
I think so. These other guys are still. Browning
Holmes
pulls
is
out. Yeah. Yeah, Bickup and Rebel still here. Finally, Rebel just looks like he drops off the jacks.
Yeah, Rebel had a
and
lot of
he's out,
damage.
so.
The top three, Tody,
Yep.
Flo, and Gutierrez out in the lead are staying out. They don't want to get mixed in with all that lap
Absolutely.
traffic. Which Gutierrez, as I say that, I look, and he's got a Roundings 919 not too far in front of him, so he might stay until he gets close and dip in before he gets to him. We'll see.
Yeah, and I'm on board with Chacon. It doesn't look like he pitted, so you can still see that hood bouncing around on Chacon's car. Hopefully he'll come in and pit this time, but he's got a clear track, so he's doing 2:15s. Maybe you think that's good enough time that he can make up some time
Looking
on
at
those behind him.
the leaderboard on the left of my screen, it shows he's green, so Sarcone has pitted. Maybe he didn't pit the damage? Figured it wasn't enough?
Could be. He must
Because
just not have fixed that
that's a lot of
damage.
shaking to have your hood fixed there.
For sure. Yep, that must be it.
So I'm looking at a little behind the scenes
Yeah.
stuff, and the Mercedes cars are the fastest in a straight line up and down the board.
Hmm.
Every Mercedes is the fastest cars.
Interesting.
Followed closely by the Lexi.
It's not what I would have expected. I would have thought that the Hondas or Ferraris would have been fast down the straights here.
Yeah.
Not a lot of action, unfortunately. It looks like, those pit stops have really strung people out. I mean, the closest gap right now is Toddy to Gutierrez, and Toddy's 2 seconds behind him.
Yeah, the top three are within 6 seconds of each other, but they're nice and spread out.
And Toddy and Flo are, teammates are still in P2 and P3, so this is going to be a nice haul for Apex. I think they're pretty much going to wrap up the team's championship, which I think they had coming into this race, but now it's definitely going to be over.
202 points in 2 races is a lot to gain if both the guys on the leading team make the race. You really have to have one of them make a mistake. And with Corey starting on the 2nd row and he's fighting for 19th now, it's looking like it's Apex Championship.
Yeah, so here's Gutierrez getting some catching a car that's
Spaghetti's off again.
It's a lap down and already pitted.
Let's see what happens to Spaghetti here. Again, through 130R, just hits that curb. You're not supposed to touch that in a wet. That'll mess you up every time. Dang.
No!
Biting it. Browning's just gonna let Gutierrez go, but at this point, he's holding up.
Yep. Well done.
Hey, he waited until there was a good place to let him by without really messing either car up.
So with that,
still got half the field to pit.
So Robbie Toddy actually picked up a second on Gutierrez during that exchange, which is always going to happen. So race is on. So they've got 4 minutes plus. So not this time, but next time by top 3 at least. I bet they're all waiting till the end. I think Hinky's going to come on in.
Yeah, I think if you're hankied on down, you might as well pit now. You're not really gaining on those guys.
Maybe undercut for those guys. It's your best and only chance.
Yeah.
Because you've already blown the big undercut. You're not going to get an overcut because they're all staying out. You can't overcut.
Tony
the last
behind
guy.
Browning might pit this lap just to keep Browning out of the way. We'll see.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah. Tody's in.
Because
he was going to run into Browning, so he went
move.
ahead and dipped in. It looks like his teammate as well. Flo is also in, so Mercedes boys.
Oh, you totally called that.
Yeah,
nice.
I saw it in Gutierrez and behind him. I saw the Mercedes catching that McLaren. Yep, you called Hanky though. Hanky definitely took your advice and went in too. So that moves GTG, DJ Watts, Lee. All those guys move up as the pits cycle through some more.
Yeah, Watts and lead teammates here have been watching this for about half a lap or so off the wing camera here from GTG. But Watts and Lee, kind of angry Lexus boys trying to chase down this BMW here, but they don't seem to be making a dent. So we'll see if they're, what this looks like. This is going to be an interesting battle to watch as they go through the pits. Because I think this is really going to be a race off pit road who can actually stop properly in their marks, get that perfect 3.2 pit stop, and then they will retain that position. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
Oh, there's Aiden Grover. Aiden asks, is Kyle Miller on the grid? He is currently, until he pits, it says P10. There you go.
Question is, where is Aiden Grover on track? I don't see him on our race list here.
He's in the chat, chatting it up with us now. Maybe I'll get him to explain why he's not on track talking to us while he's racing tonight. Maybe that's why he can't drive in the wet and race.
No, he's done it before. Yeah, he's done it before. I mean, Aiden, notorious driver for both driving and chatting while he's racing. So he's got a higher skill level than I do.
And no knife making while you're watching the stream. We learned that tonight the hard way, didn't we?
Can there be a rule that only one Miller per division? We do. There's Kyle Miller's in D3 and Ken Miller's in D4. They moved them this season so that we wouldn't have as many confusions.
Aiden says, "Don't tell CHP, California Highway Patrol." So that's
Dun, 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 dun.
yeah. I suspect he's going to be a text error and driver. Okay, I'm going to go to the helicam here. All three of them are coming in
I'm gonna grab
to the pits. So
Rodriguez, see what we have.
this is going to be exciting to watch here in the PIP. Who's going to win and coming out of these pit
I'm gonna
stops?
stick with Toady and
Dun,
Flo
dun,
here.
dun, 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 dun.
I don't know what happened with Toady in that pit stop, but Ron, his teammate, definitely gained 2 seconds coming out of that. So these guys coming out will be really close, I think. No, they're just not getting completely stopped.
Yeah, GTG stopped for a while here.
Yeah,
Yep.
Ron picked
Oh.
up 3 seconds on Toddy while sitting still.
And GT just came right in front of Lee, but looks like Watts was stopped for a while. So Watts lost out there. Shows you the impact of having a good pit stop versus a bad pit stop.
Turn 1 here.
I think Botella still needs to come in. There he is. He's in. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's hadn't pit this last I checked. Just too far out.
And Henke just went wide there in GTG. Now is in P4, so
Yeah.
interesting to see after the pit
Henke
stop
hit
cycles.
the curbs there.
GTG was sort of a net P6, but I think getting a good pit stop, he was able to get to P5 and then was able to pass Henke.
Newsflash. Sircone did not fix the damage.
Really? Oh, Botella with the drive-through.
Was nabbed by Buford T. Justice of Texas. I'm in high-speed pursuit.
GGG's being hounded by Curtis Lee there, right behind, with Henke right behind him. You said Sircone did not take the damage. I didn't think he did because he gained a lot of time through the pit stops there.
Yeah, he was only stopped for 10
that's
seconds.
Definitely not. That's just enough to get a couple liters of fuel and go.
It's working for him though. He's up to P12.
It's good.
I tell you what, in that case, we split strategies here. So Sircone does not come in, but Rebel did. Rebel spent 37 seconds, so he lost 27 seconds, and he's got everybody to pass. Let's find out where those two. Let's see if they end up having a meeting of the minds again. Got a lot of guys to pass.
Yeah, that's a pretty big difference there.
Yeah, I suspect, looking, comparing P12 to P24, I think that question seems to have been answered. I don't know how Rebel's going to get 12 cars in these conditions. It's extremely difficult to pass in the wet here on Suzuka.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go back 15 seconds. I want to see why GTG is lost in position. He's just a little too late into the braking zone, and Cassio and has to let it's like Lee? Yeah, Curtis Lee by. Almost lets Henke by too.
Interestingly, Rakoski's in P9, and he was only stopped for 5 seconds in the pit, so my guess is he did not fix his damage either.
These guys are brave with all that damage.
Now, what is it with Curtis Lee? We don't talk about him. Race after race, and then he sneaks in. He's sitting in P4 right now.
In the Lexus.
I guess the deal is if you don't get talked about, that means you're not doing anything interesting, which is exactly what you're trying to do.
That's my strategy every week.
So, absolutely. So, interesting. He just he's stealthy. Keep a camera on that guy. So Rebel's already gotten by 1. He got by Browning.
Yeah, I think Curtis's strategy has shown everybody how it's done here. I mean, is just pure consistency, keep it clean, hit your pit stops well. That's really what that consistency does for you. Gets into P4.
He's doing the right stuff, and let me say, sneaky guy. That 5th through 9th battle looks...
Yeah, Jaubrey looks like he's holding up Henke a little bit, which is allowing Watts, Rakoski, and Michael to catch them. I think that little incident in the Casio last lap, Jaumbre's just kind of relaxing a little bit, getting back into the groove.
Yeah, he's dropped 1.5 seconds to Lee. So, and they had pretty similar lap times. You know, 2:13.5 best lap for Lee and 2:13.9 for GTG. So.
This Ferrari might get him. I think he's looking. I think he thinks better of it at the moment. He's looking again.
Pulls that down the straight.
He's going for it.
Knows his way through. No hinky pinky on that one.
He gets it. Can he hold on to it though?
Well done.
And GTG is now falling in the clutches of Michael and Watts. So
This is,
hopefully GTG can get it back together and hold on to P6 here.
That's a gaggle.
a little bit of a gaggle. Gonna look for some more battles here. Spaghetti catching Jay Brown down the front straightaway the same way Hanky just caught GTG. Looking on the inside, he's not quite there, so he's gonna let off a little bit and let him have it.
That was a pretty pass that Hinky put on.
Yeah, I'm impressed with the amount of rain into turn one. How that pass went.
That's a pretty pass.
It's getting...
Every single driver took a different line through the hairpin.
That's a tricky corner, I think, in this rain. Like, some cars like that tight angle, some of them like the wide swoop in.
Yeah.
There's an echo when Jan is speaking.
He just talks that way.
Give me a second.
I don't know if that's my mic or if that's something else.
Really, you're talking ribs? We're sitting here doing a race and you're talking ribs. I got 19 minutes left. They're talking ribs. I just ran out of Fig Newtons, and they're talking ribs.
Both of those things.
I'm
both
not
of
looking
those
at Chad
things would be
anymore.
nice right now. Making me hungry, that's for sure. Somebody just went off. I saw, but I didn't catch the number. Spaghetti has got by Brown, but I don't know if he's going to hold on to it.
I'm noticing, Andrew, that that Lexus of Watts has a F14 on the side. So I got a special request here for you. Can you sing the Danger Zone song for us?
Call Doug. Call Doug.
Going right into the danger zone.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I don't know how Spaghetti didn't die in that section back there.
Yep.
He's riding that Mercedes to the limit, that's for sure. Taking the intro video to the bags.
Do I still have an echo here in the chat, or is that something we fixed?
Say something?
What they say here? Oh, wow. We'll be at your house for the Coda race.
Sounds fixed. Okay, I just turned channel down a little bit on my end. I think it was just my mic's close enough to my ear that it's picking up through my headset. One day I'll get a streamer mic.
So the race is afoot here. There's 17 minutes left. Gutierrez has stretched it out a little bit, which would secure a championship for him, would it not?
Yeah, he was 110 points out, and I want to say... Who was it that was in second? Sircone and Toady, I think?
Yeah.
Second and third?
Oh, that's putting a stamp on it. And your little dog, too.
So Toady stays second. He's going to still lose another 10 points, which means even if... Gutierrez doesn't race next week, he'd still win it.
So, Yeah, he's got to crank the car up next week.
Yeah, and I've been sticking on Rakoski for a good while here. He's not making progress on Watts, and similarly, Watts is not making any progress on Michael. So kind of surprising. This is the closest battle here on track, and Rakoski keeps pulling out, but I think he's just got too much damage and can't get by here on the straights.
Rebel's making no time.
Really?
Well, he's 3 seconds faster, but he's stuck now. He's
stuck way down on the line.
He's going to make this pass now on Holmes, but he's losing time. So Sarcone has not made up any positions. He's still in 12th.
Yep, going to show this replay of this pass in the picture-in-picture of Rebel on Holmes here.
It's a good pass.
Yeah, it looks like Holmes just went a little bit wide and spoon and got bad traction coming out there, and Rebel just drove on by.
That dry section, so he had all the grip where Holmes did not. Yeah, Sarcone's just in a bubble. He's got 9 seconds to the guy behind him and 13 to the guy in front.
So we got a request to take the cost of a mic out of the SRA cruise budget. Well, now that we got sponsorship from Vaberzi, yeah, there's tons of money in the coffers now. Yeah, Dahe's going to get most of it.
For sure. Botella and Greer are battling for P19, P20 here. As Chan's got the battle for, what is that, 7, 8, 9?
Yep.
Those guys are still battling.
Oh, and Watts goes wide and Rakoski goes by him. Oh man, just all on his own. Watts made a mistake and Rakoski gets the position. Unfortunate for Watts.
That's not good. He was having a good run moving forward at the time. While we have a second, let me look at biggest movers. Jay Brown is up 8 from P24 to P16. Greer from 25th to 19. Spaghetti.
Oh, and Rakoski slides. Sorry, going into T1. Watts might get him back here into the S's.
Bunch of +6s.
Oh.
Yep, he's got him.
Yeah.
No.
No, he's going back on the inside. Rakoski's got the inside. Watts, can he hang it out?
That's the S's for you. You have the advantage in one corner, but you might not have it in the next. Yeah, a lot of the drivers +5, +6, moving up from the back. Rakoski -7 is.
Yep.
Botella and Rebel probably the biggest losers, 17 and 18 respectively. So, not the nights that they were looking to have. As Botella gets Greer, no. They're still battling. Little rubbin.
So Rebel's got Gitesh to get through. Now Botella's got some speed, but he's right ahead of him. But he's being held up by Thomas Greer.
Yeah, Gitesh is like, you guys keep doing this. I'm gonna catch you, and I'm gonna bring Rebel with me. We're gonna have a real fun battle for the last 12 minutes.
Man, it's 12 minutes to go. Geez, where'd the time go? You know, we didn't talk anything about, you know, the Suzuka, Japan history and all that stuff. There he goes. I think Gitesh just let that gaggle go by. Just y'all do your thing. So the only thing interesting about Suzuka is it's kind of on the southeast coast, kind of Japan, I think Honshu, but it was on Japan, and this is where those girls do pearl diving. You know, like last 2,000 years. It's like some secret order of the pearl diving girls, and they've been doing that for years. They sink those oysters, and they do pearl diving here. This is where it's all from. Other than that,
so Rebel's pulling up here on Butler because Greer's getting held up by Greer, but wisely backs out of it going to Degner 1.
4 cars going.
And Greer gets a tap. Oh, and
Gitesh says, "Really, guys?"
The winner on all that was definitely Rebel, but I'm gonna go back this up here 30 seconds, and
so he's got 9 seconds to Formagal in 18th. Now's your time if you're going to do it, baby.
Yeah, Greer just overslows and Degner too, and just gets rear-ended, and you know, a couple guys
Who was
just
that
sail by.
behind Gitesh? Because he definitely gained. Holmes gained like 4 positions out of that. Good for him.
Yeah, interesting. Katufkar just basically stopped on track rather than going by, and so he's still behind Greer.
Man, poor Gitesh.
Anyways, back to the facts there, Andrew.
This is interesting. It's the weird secret order of pearl diving girls is all right here. Other than that, outside the racetrack, what a boring place.
That's sad. I would have thought that Japan would have had like more sections of Japan would have interesting stuff. I find that just an interesting culture in general.
It probably does. It just it was just oh, you know, there's no famous people from Suzuka that I could find. There's no wild and crazy history. There's no shootouts at the OK Corral here.
Let's ski off a little bit
You
there.
know.
Holds on to it. It's not.
Yeah, what is interesting though is that Suzuka is owned by Honda, and I believe Fuji's owned by Toyota. So you kind of have the dueling racetracks here.
Yep. Under
There's
10 minutes to go here, guys.
Yeah, where'd the time go?
Just flies. When we do these things, like you sit down, next thing you know, you're saying it's 10 minutes to go. So Gutierrez is just that. He's pulled out 6.5 seconds. The Mercedes boys are in good shape for a podium. Just don't do anything weird. Now Hinky is actually staring down Curtis Lee at this point. They have my attention.
I see Henke is 2 seconds behind Lee, so I don't know
He's
that
coming, but he's coming.
We'll see if he catches him. Yep.
He's got line of sight.
It looks
on
like
him.
Hankey's got a good car through the S's. For a couple years.
Yeah, Gutierrez is probably just bored on this race. Checked out. He's so far out ahead.
Oh, I just got onto Ferrari's pit channel, and Bonotto just told Hinky to pit now. I'm sorry, told her, yeah, pit now, new tires. Yeah, I think he said going on to dries.
Yeah. I think they want to go for the fastest lap here.
That's right. He's gonna get the fastest lap.
That sounds like a Ferrari type of strategy. Who does have our fastest lap tonight?
We know.
Interestingly here, I just Googled Jean-Marie Balestre, and yes, was a member of the French Nazi division of the SS, but later claimed to have been an undercover agent for the French resistance.
Oh, but he did.
Yeah, as they all claim. But interestingly, he received the Legion of Honor for services to France in 1968. So apparently he, convinced somebody.
Funny.
Boy, I tell you, that's a good gig to have. You hate to be a Nazi. Then when the war's over, was it? Man, I was a double agent. Y'all just had no idea. Boy, I was one of the good guys. I was just pretending.
Yeah, I'm sure
I'm honored for that.
I'm sure they knew that all those years later he was going to help Alan Prost win the World Championship. So they were preemptively giving him the Legion of Honor for there.
Oh boy!
And Rakowski gets by.
I see that.
He does.
Yeah, Michael just made a mistake going into Spoon all on his own, and Rakowski got
So
by.
Hankey, since the start of the last lap, went from 2 seconds down to 1. I don't think he's got the straight line speed that he does in the Lexus, but he definitely has the twisty bits a lot more downforce.
We haven't called Michael's number very much for being in 8th position, but he's got his own. Oh, he's got his own. He's in the grass. He's in the mud.
He was doing well for most of the race. I mean, he was really, keeping Rakowski, who's a very fast driver, obviously, qualified on pole here, keeping him behind, doing a great job of it.
No, scratch on
right
it.
off of there, Jared.
This is Rakowski that I'm
okay,
on board
I did
with.
not recognize that car from that version.
I think he's coming up on GTG, so I'll skip one car ahead and watch this battle for a little bit.
Oh, I guess as we get finished up here, with the mailbag, not all of it was bad. It was very nice. We get so much fan mail. It was nice. Some of the mail we got was really positive, and so the person who sent me the topless picture of Betty White, thank you very much. I was missing in my collection. The person that DM'd me 16 pictures of Oakland Raider Ray Guy, I get the message. Thanks a lot. I know exactly what you're trying to say.
Miller's off. Oh, right before the dangers just slides. That's the whole book. Come on, Kyle. I know the Lambo's not having a good time. You got it. Finish the race.
Yeah, here in the chat, people are complaining about the perennial favorite thing to do for ACC is that they don't have any other car classes like LMP2s and not enough tracks. So just wait for a set of Corsa 2, guys. It's coming next year, and you'll be able to drive every car that you want.
Yeah, would you like to be a fly on the wall in their studio with their 20 people?
And GTG goes wide. Oh.
Turn.
See if I can go back to this.
Turn 1, too.
He only loses one position. Yeah, only loses one position, luckily. But Rakoski has really gained here. I mean, think about it. He was P1. Had a couple accidents. I think he was down in the high teens at one point. Now he's all the way back up to P6. So.
And any further, and GTG was stood for going to garage.
That is a good one. Yeah, I'll have to mention that to him in our we're his D4 teammates. So I'll have to mention that to him in the chat.
Nice.
He's getting hounded by the Lexus now. Is that Watts? Yeah, it's Watts.
Yep.
There's 3 Lexus and they all look the same.
It's also interesting if you. Yeah, which is also interesting.
Still in their battle too.
Yeah, so that's really kind of the only battle I'm seeing on track right now. Browning is pretty close to Greer, but that's been going on for a while.
I'm still watching Hanky because he's gaining and losing over the course of a lap here.
Yeah, he's cut that gap in half. It's now a second.
Then,
hey, he's got 2 laps to do it at best.
He seems to gain a couple of tenths down the long straightaway into 130R, and then the long straightaway into turn 1, and then Hanky uses the rest of the track to gain all that time back.
I mean, Lee was about 4 tenths faster on that last lap, so my suspicion is he's just sort of managing the gap, kind of trying to bring the race home.
Yeah, easing it through the trickier, twisty bits. 6 tenths as they cross the line. He'll pull out another tenth or 2 here, and then they'll jump it down.
Andrew, Baseline Racing is looking for D1 Ferrari driver next season. So just let me know how many Betty White photos I need to send you, and I can work that out offline.
I tell you what, you can never get enough topless Betty White photos. Okay, let's think about this. Betty White was born in 1922. Sliced bread was invented in 1928. So sliced bread is the greatest thing since Betty White.
It makes sense to me. Oh, Michael's off. Is that the group you're watching?
Oh.
Yep. Yeah, he just fell off the back there, unfortunately.
Oh, you keep on that. I'll watch the replay here. Going to the S's, yeah, McLaren just doesn't want to turn, and he just has to let it off in the dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Watt's looking for every patch of the grass here, pulling out backwards, forwards, going
Final
to
lap
the
for
Degners,
Gutierrez here.
Can't seem to find a why.
Which I'm. Why did it say it's so late in the
It only
lap?
rides on the right hand side of the road. Hinkie has closed that gap down some more, and there's traffic ahead for Curtis Lee.
See this. Watch Gutierrez here for a second. Yeah.
Oh, he's in contact with him now.
Oh yeah.
I'll switch over to that battle.
And that's Botella ahead of him. Oh, Botella gets out of the way. Nice job.
Gutierrez down the front straightaway.
Well done.
Racks up another win for the Badmans. 6 seconds on Mercedes driver of Toady here. Crossing.
I'll tell you what, the Lexuses have been in it today. I mean, Lee and Watts have really been in
Flo
all
gets
these battles.
Third. Yeah, Curtis Lee is going to come out currently 4th. Looks like he's not going to get the pressure from Hanky. Oh, Hanky dips into the dirt there. So 4th for Lee, 5th for Hanky.
Here we go.
Well, we'll see. We got one more lap here.
I think is it one more lap? Oh, they're not on. It said final lap. Okay, so
Yeah,
they got
this is it.
one more. Okay.
Yeah, they've got one more lap. Yeah, they're on their final lap now.
He's trying to find a way around, and he lost some time. And Curtis Lee is he just threw a Gandalf on him.
Gun shall pass. Love it. Gutierrez taking his time through the Danger curves there. Flo, I'm gonna watch Flo a minute. He looks like he's having a little bit better time through the traffic as his teammate. He gained a little bit of time.
Yeah, I think Hankey's lost touch. I don't think he's going to do it, but I'm going to jump on board with these two McLaren drivers here with, through T1, T2, and now going to the S's with Whitting Jr. and Bailey. Whitting within 2/10. Oh, and as I go on to him, he gets a bad exit out of T2 and loses touch.
T-touch pulls over. Looks like, go ahead, Ed. Andrew.
Yeah, I was getting some bad info.
Uh-oh.
And I'm the one giving myself the info, so
Oh, that's not good.
consider the source.
Bickham getting out of the way for Flo here. Leaders down the straight one more time.
All 25 runners are running.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Usually there's at least one person that gets into an accident and doesn't finish, so they're all trying to fight for those last bits of points before the end of the season here.
It was a relatively clean race as far as people hitting each other.
Oh, and we got an accident in the back here. I'm going to go back up in the
Space
P&P.
Baker.
Told you.
Formagal was
There you go. Gutierrez
right behind Space
officially
Baker,
away
and
this
Rebel
lap.
was in the back there.
I was one lap too early. There's Toady for second. Flo for third.
I think Space Baker thought that the race
Maybe?
was over.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think he thought the race was over. He pulled over to the right and then now pulled over to the left and then just spun right in
Curtis
front
Lee's
of
gonna hold off Hanky.
Formagal.
Who did that last week? Was it him?
I forget who it was last week. Someone did it last week too. I do remember that. Rakoski back up to 6th.
Oh.
GTG 7th. Watts gets 8th. Even though Michael went off, he'll get a 9th place finish. Good for him. New red tag, so he's new to the league. So good showing off the rip here.
Absolutely.
Bailey's coming home P10.
Another silver driver with a good.
I think Gutierrez will have to wash one shoe after all this because I think he's been pouring something interesting into a shoe.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Saccone after all the damage, managed to get a decent finish.
Yeah, impressive recovery drive from him, and he made the right decision. I mean, he proved us wrong. We all thought that he should repair that damage, but he was smart to not.
What did we learn tonight?
I'm probably gonna.
We just learned that you
try
can
with some more damage.
stick it out. Yeah, stick it out.
Holmes coming across the back straightaway. He's got Space Baker. Most of the guys are done here. It looks like. Watch these last couple of drivers.
Yeah, I feel bad for Space Baker. I mean, he's lost, I don't know, what, 3 positions by thinking that the race was over and then realizing that it wasn't.
That's
going to be
not a good time. So...
I've been going around an extra time before because I'm just scared it's going to happen to me.
Yeah, I do that. Never know exactly when shit's gonna And because sometimes it doesn't tell you until like you cross the line. It's like, oh, the race is over. And like, oh, I thought I had one lap. So.
An interesting Botla all the way down in P20 something got the fastest lap.
Yeah,
so.
very interesting finish to his race. After getting the drive-through, he basically he probably went and changed tires and was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go for fastest lap. That's one more point.
Sure.
Well, that's the end of the race. We'll see if we can grab maybe a couple of guys for some interviews.
I approve that message.
All right. I love it too. If you guys have somebody that you want me to grab, we can see if we can find them in the chat. Otherwise, we're probably going to grab Gutierrez if he's around. Maybe Flo for winning the silver and getting a podium. Let's see who else we can find here.
We have Daehee in the chat here. I'm just going to let Daehee know how much we appreciate all the work he does
for sure
for the league. I don't know if you almost have to be watching it to see what he does, but boy, I tell you, nobody works harder.
Yeah, and I can tell you, the staff, all the staff kind of conversations. Us as commentators, they, for whatever reason, let us into that. But yeah, you can always see Daehee making improvements to the SRA rating, to all the other kind of technical stuff in the league, all the bots. So just piling on here to Andrew's comments. Thank you so much, Daehee.
All right, I have found Ron Flo, the third place driver and silver winner for the night. Ron, can you hear us? How are you feeling after third place finish, first in the silvers?
Good. Good. Yeah, it was a good race. First incident on the lap there, but no issues. It was clean, and our pit stop was really good. We came out with clean air, one blue flag, so it was nice.
Yeah, I noticed that you gained quite a bit of time on your teammate in the pits. Did he just take more fuel, or?
Yeah, I was off by about 4 liters,
okay,
so he grabbed some more fuel.
That'll definitely make up the time there.
Yeah.
Yeah, good race for you guys. Yeah, good race for you guys. I mean, you guys came home P2 and P3, so definitely clinching the team's championship. So congratulations on that.
Standing sheet real quick. Guys, we're 201 up. You guys are 1,100 points, and baseline is at 833. That clinches it. There's
Perfect. That's awesome.
Most they can gain is 200 points.
Certainly getting revenge on us this season from last season when we beat you guys at the last corner of the last lap. So congratulations.
Good job.
Thank you. Great series. Love it here. You guys do an awesome job. So
we love
a lot of fun.
Y'all.
Thanks, Ron. Let's bring his teammate in here, Robbie Toddy.
There we go. Yay.
Robbie Toddy, we're going to do a joint interview here with the Apex Hunters team, since you guys unfortunately beat Baseline Racing. How does it feel?
Good. It was an interesting race for sure. A little bit of mayhem in the beginning, but we managed to push through. And then, like Ron said, it was nice and clear, and it was a little bit of a brown moment. We had to do maths on the spot before the pit, because I was like, I don't think I have enough fuel. So I was literally 1 liter at the finish line. I had to upshift real fast, soon, and go very gentle the last 3-4 laps, not to lower my consumption. I was like,
good
oh
job,
my God.
Though. You managed to hold on to it.
Yeah, it was. We had a good pit stop, and then after we got out of the pits, it was nice and clear, and so managed to avoid the. I don't know what happened at T1. I'm pretty sure I didn't touch Corey, but
no, it
I
looks
want to
like
look at the replay and make sure it
Corey
wasn't.
and
People were sideways all
Corey
over.
or Rebel, one of them hit the curb.
Well, you did the.
Caused that.
We think you did the pit stop right. We were talking about what you were going to do about the pit, so you got it right. We think you got it right.
Okay.
Yeah, you hit right as you caught that traffic.
Because I did the practice race and.
Well, we'll talk to the admin, to the stewards here. We'll make sure they get the ban hammered on you, Toddy, for next season for that incident. So.
With me, we're coming strong.
I feel you.
All right. Well, congratulations again, guys.
Yeah, enjoy your night.
Yeah.
You too.
Do we have?
Let's see. Is the goat around?
He.
The goat is not around,
currently
unfortunately.
not.
I don't see him.
He's drinking something out of a shoe.
I'm sure he's looking at his closet there, trying to figure out which shoe he needs to pick out, getting ready to throw it in the
Don't
washer
see
there.
anybody
Yeah,
else.
which shoe I'm gonna burn down? Maybe get a flip flop and try it. Just because it'd be just.
Yeah, I hate
just
that we don't
ridiculous.
have Gutierrez anywhere because he finishes 120 points ahead of Robbie Toddy tonight, so he also clinches going into next race.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, it looks like we don't have a lot of choices here, but I'm gonna make an executive decision here and bring up Space Baker and ask him what happened on that
Sounds like a good one. We haven't talked to Mr. Baker.
on that. Yeah, it'd be good to get him sometime. So I'm gonna pull him in here.
Are you guys talking about me?
Yeah, Mr. Space Baker, how are you?
How you
What's up?
doing?
So we just wanna know what happened on that last lap there. Did you think the race was over and then had
Yeah.
to dive back in?
Yeah. I thought the race was over, and then cause it showed final lap on the HUD, but I got confused.
I think
I don't know.
that's
Well,
crazy
that's all right.
in this game.
Yeah, there was a lot of lag. Yeah, there was a lot of lag throughout the race too. I don't know if it was me or somebody else, but like my crew chief or whatever kept saying like, "Oh, pit window's open." Now it's not.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I gotta go figure that out. But
Yeah, I think it was definitely you because we saw you kind of just lag out in the beginning there a little bit and take out 3 or 4 cars. So got to get that fixed before next race.
yeah, we were just talking about that. I don't know if it was me. I guess it was. So I gotta go check out the replay.
Yeah, for sure. Well, keep an eye on. Maybe learn that lesson for next time. Make sure that the race is truly nice and over before you pull over to the right and start flashing your lights.
Yeah, for sure.
I think I saw them screaming at you on the pit box
Go,
when I was going by.
Yeah.
Oh, great stuff.
All
Have a
right.
good night, man.
Thanks, Marty. Have a good night.
All right.
Well,
That was a lot of fun. Glad we got to do
Yeah.
it again, and we got one more race this season. Next week is Circuit of the Americas at night, which should be absolutely crazy. I think it'll be as crazy as this rain race was tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Now, if you can believe it, next Wednesday night I've got tickets to see Craig Ferguson.
That sounds fun.
And so I guess I just put 2 and 2 together and realized that was a Wednesday night. So we're gonna see Craigie Ferg live and in person
Awesome.
next
We'll
week.
make sure to hold it down
So
for you.
I will not be with you guys.
Yeah, unfortunate. Do we have any mail that we can go out on there, Andrew, or have we exhausted the mailbag?
I think we've exhausted everything that was G-rated. I think everything else was the complaint mails were tough, and some of those guys are just a little bit over the line. Just to let you know. So that's just unnecessary.
Well, I appreciate you biting the bullet for us and going through that. Nobody likes sifting through the comment section of the internet.
Exactly.
So, it takes a brave man to do that.
Well, did appreciate a couple of the gift cards that were sent over. I don't think I'll be using the one for Victoria's Secret, but thank you anyway. So anyways, I think this is my 15th race, and I think, gosh, there's so many of these guys that are really good at commentating and need to get in here. So I think if I can't make it next week, and I sure would like to get some of these younger guys in here that really are good, like you guys, to get in here and take some time. So I'm looking to
We're always looking to build.
move over and let those guys get some time next time.
I appreciate you calling me young there, Andrew. That's generous of you. So.
Yeah, if you're looking to commentate,
it's,
you look
I'm-
into race, come to the Discord, discord.gg/Sim Racing Alliance. Would love to have you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what does they say? Like and subscribe, ring
Yep,
the bell,
like and
all that.
subscribe,
good
ring the
stuff.
bell.
So you guys know that. Yeah.
You guys smash
Yeah,
it
smash the
button
like
somewhere.
button. Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
one.
We're all streaming horrors there, but yeah, if you like what you see, if you like hearing the mailbag, go to that Discord channel. Join the league. We'll send you some Betty White pictures.
Let us know if that whole bit was as bad as I think it is, and we'll never, ever, ever do it again.
Love it.
Yay. So, anyways, that's y'all have heard way enough from me, and probably a little bit too much. So,
I think
All
we'll leave
good
it there.
night, fellas. We'll
Yeah.
see you next time.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night, everybody.